Okay, I'm trying again because it froze, and so I couldn't do anything. So sorry about that. Always a technical glitch, right? So before I really get started, I want to make sure that you guys can see me. Are you giving me a thumbs up? Can you hear me? And I hope I don't freeze again because I have really good connection. So, oh gosh, it says that, oh good, people are seeing this. So, sorry about the other one. I don't know what happened. I just kind of froze. So, yay, okay, thumbs up, yay, okay. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see any of that, but oh good, I can see you. Okay, yay, thank you, Angela. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you helping me out with that. Yay, thank you. Your name is so pretty. Calais? Anyway, Renee, I won't say that. I will try to focus. Anyway, guys, it's my day, and thank you so much for being flexible. It kind of is going to play into that whole getting over a limiting mindset, and love seeing you, Amy. Love seeing my coaches. Again, my name is Lauren Duke, and a little backstory, I've been a coach for about 4 years. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a military spouse, and that is going to play a huge part in what I have to share with you guys, and I hope it resonates with you. So what is a limiting mindset, right? Hey, Lindsay. A limiting mindset, as I believe, anything that keeps you from your full potential. And so that is probably the hardest thing that we can get over. Like, we can take the steps physically, but our mind is the one thing that has to catch up with our heart. Our heart will be the first thing that says, totally, let's do that. It takes your mind a lot longer to catch up, right? You have to actually go through the steps, go through the motions in order for your head to start believing what your heart initially told you. And so I wrote some notes, and I'm sitting at my kitchen table, and it's kind of wonky, but this is life. So what are some of the limiting mindsets that we have as coaches? No one's going to want to follow me. Why? People are going to judge me. No one's going to care about my story. People are going to say no. They're going to reject me. All those things, those preconceived notions that we have decided already before we even get started, that's a limiting mindset. That is us telling ourselves that you can't achieve something. Maybe you're watching somebody else's success. Maybe you've heard somebody else's story and you take that on as your own. That's not you. So we're going to talk about getting over that limiting mindset. Those limiting beliefs are actually the things that are pulling you from your goals. And you know, we've had a couple of days of awesome training from Elizabeth and Brigitte, and they're talking about why and how to share your story. You guys, that is everything to help you focus on your goals, to help you get over that limiting belief that you have. So first of all, you have got to focus on your why and your goals. If you're focused on that, you can't see anything else that's going on. You're not going to have any limiting beliefs between your two ears because you are so focused on that goal and your why that you can't see anything else. So that's the one thing that is going to pull your focus, is if you don't have a clear goal and a clear why, of course you're going to start to doubt yourself because you don't have anywhere to go. You don't have an end point. You don't have a finish line. You don't have a goal. You know, my daughter is a track runner, and so I shared this with my team today because we were talking about hurdling and getting over a hurdle, you know, and it takes momentum. It takes actually building up speed in order to sail over that hurdle. And you're like, yes, but then you trip and maybe you fall. You get back up because you're not at your goal yet. You've got to cross that finish line in order to complete the race. And so I want you guys to remember that I'm going to look over here at my notes, so don't think I'm not paying attention. Those limiting beliefs are pulling your focus from where it needs to be, which is on your why and your goals. And if you're so focused on the can't, then there is absolutely no way that you can see the can. If every day you wake up and all you're thinking about is, well, I can't do that. Well, I didn't do well with that. Well, I failed that. There's no room in your head for the yeses and the awesome and the way to go and the I can and I believe. That's where personal development comes in. And I'm not going to take somebody else's topic, but that's how it helps you get over that limiting belief. So you've all heard the decide, commit, succeed, right? It's kind of the motto of Beachbody. It's kind of awesome. Well, I want you to really think about those three things. So you've got to put it into practice, right? A decision requires action. If you decide to do something and never do it, then you really never decided to do it. You just said some words that you thought sounded cool, right? But a decision requires action. It requires a physical response. It's got to be real. It's got to be firm. It's got to have purpose behind it. It's got to have a goal. It's got to have a why. And then a commitment is the follow-through. You've got to decide you're going to do something and then commit. Whoa, I've got to show up every day. I've got to believe that decision I made is actually possible. I've got to follow through with my decision, with my commitment. Step 2. The success isn't a number, isn't a rank, isn't necessarily money. It is you doing those first 2 steps and feeling like I accomplished something. So if that has to be what you get through or get to in order to get over a limiting belief, maybe it's a small commitment, maybe it's a small decision, and then you experience the success of that. But when those first 2 steps occur over time, you will achieve the third, success. I love this. I want you guys to really break it down, and it not just be words on a banner or words on a building or words that you see flashed on a screen. I want you to really think about how that applies to your day-to-day. From everything from, I have decided to do 50 invites today. Great. Now what? Right? I have to have the commitment to it. I have to actually do the action. And then what comes after that? The success of all the conversations, all the new relationships, all the new whatever. That doesn't mean a rank, that doesn't mean a money, that doesn't mean anything. That is you guys showing up and getting over those limiting beliefs because you have such a big goal in your head and such a huge why that you are putting pen to paper, you are putting action on a screen, in your thoughts, but you guys have got to get over that limiting belief that nobody wants to hear from you because that's crap. And you've got to get over the thought that people aren't watching you because that's not true either. And you've got to get over the fact that maybe your story doesn't matter because it matters to somebody. It matters to absolutely that one person who needed to hear your story 20 times. And, I was talking to someone the other day and I was like, when are people going to get sick of me? And I went, never. They're never going to get sick of hearing my story because somebody who heard it 3 years ago maybe needs to hear it now. Or somebody who's never heard it before finally tunes in because someone shares it with them. So your story never gets boring. It never gets old. It never loses its, punch. It never loses its power. And I want you guys to remember that. Never, ever, 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 ever give up on your story. Ever. Keep telling it. Keep sharing it. Keep putting it out there. And keep getting over those things that you think people don't want to hear or see. Because they want to see that someone achieved something. They want to hear that someone overcame an obstacle. They want to believe the good things. They want to have the cans in front of them daily. They don't want to see the negativity. I don't want that in my ears and my eyes every day. I want to see the good. I want to see someone overcoming an obstacle. I want to see someone setting a goal for themselves, and I want to see them achieving it. I want to see that daily. And I want to be a part of that. And so I want to set that example for my coaches. I want to set that example for my kids. I want to set that example for my community. I want to set that example every single day. So that's getting over that limiting belief. So, flipping the page. Now, believe is a hard word. And I'm not going to downplay that at all. Because let's just think about this again. When I was a brand new coach of 6 months, someone said, "What's your dream?" It was such a foreign concept to me because I didn't have any. I just went through the motions and I did what I was expected to do, and I showed up when I was expected to show up, and I, signed my kids up when I was expected to sign my kids up, and I just went through the motions. But a dream, that seems so out there to me. Have a dream? How about a reality? Because a dream seemed foreign. It seemed like something I would never touch. And I had to get over that limiting belief that I couldn't have dreams. I had to get over the notion that I wasn't worthy of having dreams and goals. And that was really holding me back. I was the obstacle. Nobody else. I couldn't blame anybody else for telling me that, because nobody ever told me that I wasn't worth anything, that I couldn't do anything. I never heard that. It was me. I was the obstacle. Dang it. Ouch, that hurts. I had to get out of my own way. I had to see that I could do big things. I had to realize that there were people cheering me on, that there were people who were already in my life who were ready to come alongside me. I had to see that I already had the gifts, the talents, the strength, but I had never drawn upon it. And maybe that's you guys. And so I want you to think about this, and I have 3 steps, and I have a little story, okay? Number 1 is that crazy word, believe. Ugh, it's such a hard word, but this is a calling. And guess what? You guys have belief already because you earned your spot in this group. You had to believe that you could make it into this group. You had to believe that you could have a conversation with someone. You had to believe that you could sign up a coach and lead a team. You had to believe in yourself to show up every day. The fact that you're here means you have belief. So I want you to think about the fact that you believe you can do hard things because you're here. You're a coach. You're getting through the day-to-day. You're overcoming obstacles. You're jumping over those hurdles. You're doing the dang thing. So you guys have belief. Maybe there are people in your life that don't believe in you, but that is not yours. That has nothing to do with you. You need to own the fact that you believe in yourself, in your goals, in your dreams, in your why. Nobody else really matters. We're going through this with my daughter. This is not the story I wanted to tell. Where's this coming from? We're going through stuff as a family. And it really doesn't matter what anybody else says or thinks. We're getting it done. We're taking care of us. Right, Sydney, do the dang thing. We're taking care of us in the best way we know how. And there are people on the outside who think they know better. There are people on the outside who think and have opinions and perceptions that are untrue. But you know what? I get to teach my daughter, their opinion doesn't matter. Are you good with you? Are you doing what's best for us? Are we okay? Are we working on us? Then we're good. And if anybody has an opinion that is untrue, let your mama take care of it. But you do not need to speak out against anybody else who has untrue, unfounded, unsupported opinions of you. Let them have them, and then show them your belief. Show them your belief in yourself. Show them. You don't need to say a word. Your actions will speak so much louder. Okay, number 2. When you're talking about your goals and your beliefs in yourself, I want you to speak in the first person. Me, I. But I want you to speak in the first person present. I was a literature teacher, and I'm not going to go all crazy on you, but I want you to speak in first person present tense. As if you are experiencing the most amazing dreams and whys and goals right now. Not, in a few years I'd like to. No, that's where visualization comes in. That's where owning it. That's where believing in your why and your goal come into play right now. I want you to think about experiencing your goals and dreams right now. I had a coach from Beachbody who made me visualize, and I thought he was crazy. He's like, I want you to spend 10 minutes visualizing. I want you, and top 10 trip, I want you to visualize what you're going to wear on the plane. I want you to visualize what it's going to be like to walk the streets of Italy. I want you to visualize what it's going to be like to see those things that you've always wanted to see. And I was like, you're insane. But you know what? It felt really good to sit there and believe and own it. And really marinate in the fact that I was going to do this stuff and I am doing this stuff. Like really, really live in that moment, really like own it. I keep saying own it. I want you to really speak to yourself as though you have overcome any kind of limitations. You have such a deep-seated belief in yourself, and I want you to talk to yourself that way because you are your biggest fan. Like I said, opinions of you don't matter. how you feel and what you're doing and what you're investing in, what you're putting in your head and your heart daily, I want you to focus on that stuff. And I want you to be so excited about your goals and dreams that you are feeling them. Like you are living them right now because you know that you're going to get there. All right, so the third one, and this is where my story comes in, and I hope you'll indulge me just a little bit. And I'm sweating like a pig. There is no plan B. Like, that limiting mindset, here's the biggie. It gives you an out. I've never had an out. I'm a lifer. I've been all in since day one. I didn't have a toe in the water and the rest of myself on the land. I was all in. I jumped in, cannonball, splash, all in. There was no out. There was no plan B. This is the plan. So getting over a limiting mindset means you don't have an out. There is no other option. You're not saying, in 6 months I'll see where I am, and I'm gonna, decide then. No, that is absolutely giving yourself a back door. That's not okay if you are going to have belief. Because I know you know this. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. Dreams and goals don't just, poof, great, awesome. Doesn't happen overnight. You have got to grow into the leader that you are supposed to be. You have got to experience things along this road to prepare you for 2 years from now. And I can say that because I've been in for 4 years. And the person I was 4 years ago is not the one you see sitting here right now. And the things that we've experienced have blown my mind. And the people I've met have changed me forever. But here's what I want you to think about. And I have a couple of military wives here. And I'm going to speak to this because we're in the middle of a year-long deployment. Pray for us. There's never been a plan B. Okay, let's think about this. As a military spouse, and if you can't wrap your mind around this, just enjoy my story, okay? When I met my husband, I had this very, very, Pollyanna view of the military from the movies, from Top Gun. I didn't know what a deployment was. I didn't know that they would go to training all the time. I didn't understand how long they would be gone, nothing. I was just in love with this man and loved the fact that he was going to be a pilot and wear that awesome flight suit, which just looks good on him. Let me just get an amen. And, they look good in uniform too, but ours isn't as exciting as the Marines, Air Force. So, the first time he left, really left, we had 2 babies. No, actually I was pregnant with our second. Who was going to take care of everything? Was somebody else going to swoop in and do it for me? Did I get to rely on somebody else? Was there a plan B? Was I just going to get out and leave? No. I had to pay bills. I had to fix the leaky faucet. I had to shovel the snow. I had to get us into town. I had to register kids for school. I had to do everything. I had to sell the house. I had to buy the house. I had to buy the car. I had to sell the car. I've had to do so many things over the past 16 years in the military that I never thought I would have to do. And of course I was afraid. Of course there was fear in that. But so what? Get over it. That is the thing. I can't sit here and say I can't do something. Because there's no I can't. You've got to. You have got to show up. You have got to be there every day. You have little people relying on you. You have your husband giving all of his faith and focus to you. There's no other option. And I love military wives for this so much because they just get it done. And I think that's the mentality we have to have as coaches is there's a problem. I don't know how to fix it. I'm going to figure it out because there's no other option. And so, just in the past 6 months, we've moved. I've bought and sold a house. I've bought and sold a car. I've dealt with kids and gone to therapy. First time ever to do that. I've traveled all over the country, packed kids up, gotten people registered for sports. It just has to happen. And that, if I sit there and say, I can't do that, I can't even form a complete thought. If I sit there and say I can't do that, then I'm limiting myself, I'm crippling my family. I've seen spouses do that. I've seen military families fall apart because the spouse had a plan B. The spouse didn't want to stick around. The spouse didn't want this life. And I just saw things crumble. And that is not okay with me. And so I just wanted to say that you've got to get over that fear, and you've got to get over that limitation that there is an out, that there is a plan B, and you've got to just focus on the fact that you have all the gifts. Like I said, this is my number 4. Know that you have the skills, the gifts, the talents, and the people in your life right now to accomplish anything that you can dream, anything that you believe. And you know what? And I will say it, God will provide the people because he continuously does. And he will provide the strength. And he will provide the skills. And he will provide the faith and the confidence. And he will provide every avenue that you possibly need. You have to have faith also and belief. And so that limiting mindset that you have needs to get crumbled up. Maybe you need to write down the thing that is limiting you right now. What is your limiting belief? It could be big, it could be small, it could be something that you've had since childhood or something that's just popped up. I want you to write it down. I want you to have a little ceremony, if you will. And we've done this at retreats, and I've seen some of y'all do that. Write down your limiting beliefs and get rid of them. Toss them out. Maybe you want to have a little fire, and you want to set it on fire, and woo! But I really want you to get it out. Maybe you need some more personal development in your ears. I have mine linked in my car. I'm constantly listening. But that limiting belief is not going to get you anywhere. It's going to just halt you. It's going to keep you stuck in quicksand. It's going to suck you under. The only thing that is going to help you is you. Getting over that. Not listening to it. And you've got to believe. And you've got to speak to yourself in that first person. And you have got to decide and have a plan of action. And maybe it doesn't work overnight. I know that's crazy. But you've got to commit to it. You've got to decide. You've got to commit in order to succeed. And I know that sounds cheesy. I know it does. But if you really, really put it into practice and you are focused on your goal and your why, like I said, that limiting belief is just pulling your focus from where it is that you want to go. That's all it's doing. It is keeping you from your ultimate goal, whatever that is. It is keeping you from your experiencing your why. So that is my only call to action, because I know you've had homework, I know you had some other stuff, and I want this one to just be about a little bit of self-reflection. I don't even know how long I've talked. I don't care. I want this one to be about you really thinking, what is it that I believe that is false? What is it that I have got to get over? Here's the thing. If this is something that you write down today, don't come back in a month and still have that same limiting belief. If you're really ready to get it done and get it gone, get it gone. But you've got to really commit to that. It takes a little bit of focus, and you've got to decide that you are not going to dwell on that anymore, right? If you're gonna keep letting it back in, you haven't actually kicked it to the curb. Don't come back with it, because, I've heard people say that I just can't get over that. Just can't get over that. I'm working on it. You need to work harder. You need to get over it, because you are never going to move forward. You see coaches stall out. You see people in life stall out because they can't get over one thing in their life. And it's a shame. It is so sad. Don't keep coming back with the same junk. If you're really, really over something, get over it. So, to recap, really quickly. Well, I showered for you, and I was super excited about that. All right. A limiting belief is something that pulls your focus from your ultimate goal. It pulls your focus from where it needs to be. I love that, where it needs to be. It doesn't need to be over here. It doesn't need to be over here. It needs to be right here. It is pulling focus from your why and your goals. If you're so focused on the can'ts, you can never see the cans. I wrote that. I was kind of proud of myself for that too. And then the last thing is my 4 steps. First, you have to believe. in your goal, in your why, in yourself. And you've got to believe with your heart and your head. And you've got to stop listening to everybody else's opinions. Number 2, you have to speak like you already achieved your goal. Like, I already achieved it, right? I can see it. I can jump in the pool. I can get on my boat. I can send my kids to that camp. I can pay off all my debt. I can bring my spouse home. I can take that vacation I've always wanted. We are there at Disney World with the mouse ears and the sparkly shirts, and I'm hugging Donald Duck. I don't know what your goal is, but there it is. Maybe you bought the outfits. Like, you believe so much. You've already bought the stuff to go. You're ready. Like, you're there. Number 3, there is no plan B. There's no out. There's no out. This is it. Don't give yourself a, no, don't give yourself that option. This is my plan. I am all in. Like I said, I'm cannonballing in the water, and I'm immersing myself, and I'm just marinating in all of it. There is no plan B. There is no out. There's no other option. And number 4, know without a shadow of a doubt that you already have the skills, the gifts, the talents, the strength. You already have it in you. There's a difference between a counselor and a coach. And I'll leave you with this, because this is what my life coach told me. I'm working with a John C. Maxwell life coach. A counselor is someone who helps you work through things, emotions and things you're feeling. A coach pulls something out of you that already exists. You're coaches. You already have those things within you. And as you speak to your team, you see their gifts, their talents, their strengths. And you are saying, I know you've got this. I know that you know exactly how to do this, why you want to do this, because I know you've already got the strength in you. You became a coach for a reason. That's not a mistake. Now let's use those talents you already have in order to really make the most of this. That's what a coach does. He pulls out what's already in someone. He, she pulls something out of someone that they already have in them and helps them make the most of it. So that's what I want you guys to understand, is you've already got this. You should not have any more limiting belief, because you already have everything that you could possibly need in order to achieve that goal and that why. So there you go. Really, really, really hope that this meant something to you, and that this has been like maybe an aha moment for you. It's really helped me. Like, wow, I'm really fired up. So I'm gonna go post about it and share this with you guys. And I just love you guys. I love seeing the hearts and the thumbs up. This is the best thing ever. I love live video. Okay, you guys, we have awesome training for the next month, and I'm so stoked that I get to be a part of it. Thank you. I'm so humbled that I'm a part of this group, and I get to share my heart with you guys. Mwah! I love you, Brittany. Thank you. I'm going to cry now, so bye.